What a mess. My goodness. I tell you, the Mavs right now are a disaster, and I feel like the writing's on the wall. This video feels very, very warranted at this point. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nonstop Steph, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on why I believe that at this point, the writing's on the wall. The Mavs are going to end up losing Luka, and I hate to say it, but you're going to hear me mention this a couple times throughout the video, but those who do not know history are bound to repeat it, right? You've probably heard that saying before, and at this point, Luka is 24 years of age, and there are too many similarities that have been mentioned between Luka's career and LeBron's career for me to not just feel like this is going to start to repeat itself. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of the backdrop, where this comes from, right? Let's start off with what the Mavs just now did. This year, let's go back 2 years. 2 years ago, the Mavs were in the conference finals here in the West. Luka dragged that team to the conference finals, beat teams that we didn't think that they were going to be able to beat, and yet that's Luka magic, as they like to say. This past year, they didn't even make it into the play-in tournament. So that on the very last game, they had the opportunity to go ahead and compete for a play-in spot. And you know what they did? They said, nah, we ain't trying to do that. They went ahead and benched their players, rest their guys, the whole bit. And during Luka's interview, the exit interview, he went ahead and mentioned that no, he did not agree with that decision. Yes, they did come to him and they let him know that's what they were going to do. But no, he wasn't a fan of the decision. And quite frankly, what superstar would be, right? Look at what the Heat are doing this year. Luka has the confidence in himself that he would be able to recreate that magic. The Heat weren't competitive. They weren't looking that great coming into the playoffs. Now look at where they're at. Luka, I believe, has that level of confidence in himself that what the Heat are doing, he could have done. He could have found himself in a similar situation. He could have drugged that team. Granted, yes, they weren't looking good. He believes in that. And that's what matters. That's what matters when you're a superstar in an organization, is that you believe in yourself and you want the organization to go ahead and believe in you. Now, the comparisons to LeBron, they are warranted, right? LeBron at a young age drafted just like you, Luka. LeBron was handed the keys to that franchise at a young age, just like Luka. LeBron, at a young age, had the potential to take that team to the finals. If Luka can get that team to the Western Conference Finals, I believe that Luka can take that team to the finals someday. Maybe not as constructed right now, but he has that talent. Nobody is questioning that he has that level of talent in his game. So I believe that he's going to be able to do something similar soon enough if this team can be constructed right. It's Luka at this time is 24 years old. You know what age LeBron was when the decision came out? It was 25. Luka's coming into that ripe age where if the organization doesn't make some changes here real soon, we might be seeing the decision part two, and it might be Luka this time rather than LeBron. And think about what led to the decision. LeBron, at that young age, 25 years old, said, hey, you know what? This organization is not doing the best it possibly can to surround me with talent and surround me with the pieces that I need to actually win. I'm struggling against the Boston Celtics. I'm struggling to get this team to the finals. I'm struggling to do everything that I have been doing. And Luka's probably feeling those same frustrations. There was a game earlier in this year where the Mavs were playing the Knicks. Luka put up 60 points. They won in overtime. Luka's probably tired of seeing that level of production is required for him to win a game. He shouldn't need to put up 60 points a night for them to win a game. And obviously, after the Kyrie Irving trade, that team just kept taking steps backwards. And that's just the truth of the matter. And I believe that it begins this offseason, right? He's not going to request the trade this year. I don't think so. But I think maybe next year. If they don't make a good stride here, if they don't take a good step forward, and I believe that good step forward starts with signing Kyrie Irving. There's going to be a lot of negative publicity around the idea of signing Kyrie Irving. And quite frankly, if you're Luka, that is the best thing you can do for me at this point because you've already messed everything else up. We traded all those good pieces that we were doing well with for Kyrie. We butchered the opportunity to keep Jalen Brunson. We've messed up plenty. So the least you can do at this point is keep Kyrie Irving with me. Keep someone who can at least handle this ball while I'm not on the court, who might be able to spell for me just for a little bit of time so I can get some rest. Give me Kyrie Irving if I'm Luka, right? Then it's the organization's job to go ahead and figure out the other pieces. They've got draft picks. They've got cap room coming into this season. As of this recording right now, they only have 8 players on the roster for this upcoming season. Now that's before signing Kyrie Irving. That is with a player option on, I believe it was Reggie Bullock. There's options right now. They are going to need to fill out this roster. They've got the spaces. They've got space to go ahead and make moves. Are they the most, I guess you would say, riddled with trading assets? Probably not. They don't have it, but that doesn't mean they can't figure something out, right? If we can see teams like the Miami Heat pull guys out of places that you wouldn't even, I don't know where they found Max Strus. That guy was in the league, he was out of the league. You know, if guys like that can come into the league again and be utilized successfully, I'm going to put the onus on the Mavs organization to go ahead and find those guys, find similar guys like that, and bring them here. Bring them here. Who wouldn't want to go play in Dallas, right? That is a good organization that is at knocking on the door to being able to make it into the finals. This past year, if any year, shows us how wide open this Western Conference is right now, right? Right now, at the time of this recording, you can't confidently believe that the Los Angeles Clippers are going to be in there next year in the finals, because you don't know how they're going to do with health. There are obviously the issues there with CP3's contract. We don't know where he's going to be, if he's going to be there or not. We don't know if DeAndre Ayton is going to be there or not. We don't know what the Warriors are going to look like. We don't know if Draymond Green's going to be there or not. They don't have a GM at the time of this recording. You don't know what's going to happen with the Lakers. You want to believe that they're going to be better. You know, I believe in LeBron. I never can doubt LeBron, but you know, he's getting up there. You can see that his game is deteriorating. He's not the same as he once was. I don't need to go up and down the Western Conference to make the point that the West is open. Luka, with some good pieces around him, can compete. I'm not picking Luka over the Nuggets today, but I am picking Luka over a lot of teams in the West if we can give him a half-decent supporting cast. I put this on the organization to go ahead and find him those pieces and get him where he needs to be, right? I often might have these conversations with my friends, and I might even text them and say, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think Luka's gonna do? And I find myself, listening to their arguments, and you know what I text them? I say, hey man, did you know that those who don't know history are bound to repeat it? And I'm looking at this organization, and I believe they are at that point where they're about to repeat history. We are going to watch Luka, unfortunately, leave the Mavs if this continues. I want to play for you guys Luka's exit interview and show how he felt in his confidence in terms of whether he's going to go ahead and leave this team, right? He addressed it during the exit interview. So take a listen here, and you tell me, is this what you think confidence in your organization sounds like?
When we talked to Cuban the other day, he said, obviously they want to keep you forever, but essentially they have to earn your loyalty. How do you feel about kind of the direction this franchise is going and what needs to happen to make you comfortable that this can be a long-term fit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the report. I don't know who. Somebody said that I was going to request the Kuwait trade. It was funny, because I didn't know that was true. I didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
I know.
To be very clear.
I know, sources said it.
No. To be very clear. I just want to get this straight, because seriously, I want to get this straight. Never did I say, hey, Luka is indicating that you're going to request a trade. What I said is, if they don't get this right over the next year, there is a fear that you could come to them, as Anthony Davis did in New Orleans, James Harden did in Houston, Kevin Durant just did in Brooklyn, and say, hey, if we don't have a chance to win a championship,
I know what you're saying, but I'm happy here, so there's nothing to worry.
So when I hear that, I don't hear somebody who is pleased with the organization. I don't hear somebody who's excited for this upcoming year. I hear somebody who's saying the right thing to the media, but man, He looks stressed. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look pleased, to say it. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if, not this season, but the following, if he's asking for a trade. We've seen this happen before with KD. We've seen this happen with, I'm not going to go up and down the list of stars. We know that there comes a time and a place where these players want to do what's best for their future careers. And I think Luka's at that point, and I don't blame him. The Mavs have done everything wrong in terms of getting him support and getting him to be in a position to actually compete for a championship. With all that being said, guys, like and subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen in, and let's go out there and let's get it, and let's hope to see Luka in a Mavs jersey for much longer.